This is Rudolf Asp. In 1888, he founded Skånska Dagbladet. The rest is... There is not too much that is known of Rudolf Asp. He had a typographer education and tried to publish a newspaper called Malmöposten back in 1873, but this paper was a failure. Without giving up, he founded Skånska Dagbladet with the aim to create a newspaper that everyone could afford, and this turned out to be a successful venture. This is the first issue of Skånska Dagbladet, published the 15th of November 1888. This is the same paper today. How did this come about? The paper cost only 3 Swedish öre at the beginning, and a yearly subscription cost 4 kronor, and an advertisement place costed only 5 öre per row. This was a bold move by Rudolf, but from the start, Skånska Dagbladet, or Skånskan as it is also called, was a success. After only 1 year, it had a 10,000 copy edition. There were only 7 to 8 people working at the time in Skånskan's joint editorial office and press room on Södergatan 7 in Malmö. This premise soon became too small, and in 1889 the press and case room was moved to a bigger property on Grünbodagatan 3A, also in Malmö. Skånskan's first printing press was an August-fabrikat made 1888, so completely new when they bought it. It produced 1,000 copies per hour. However, this printing press's capacity did soon fail to meet the growing demands of the steadily increasing amount of the paper's subscribers. In need of more space, the whole paper, the press room, the case room, the editorial office and the advertisement division moved to a new building at Östergatan 15, where Skånskan still is today. Now with more room, Skånska Dagbladet could buy a new type of printing machine, the rotary press, with a capacity of 12 to 15,000 copies per hour. From 1892 until 1895, the paper went from having 6,000 subscribers to 12,000, meaning that the amount doubled in only 3 years. With an addition of around 20,000 copies, Skånskan could now deem itself, without doubt, the leading Malmö newspaper. The extreme increase put pressure on the new rotary press, and even this machine could not meet the demands of the paper's popularity. So, in 1895, Skånska Dagbladet bought an even newer rotary press, and this one was as modern as it got in the 1890s, producing 18,000 copies per hour. Skånskan now had the biggest rotary press in all of Sweden. Also in 1895, their Sunday magazine Hemmet was introduced, a 2 to 4 page enclosure aimed mainly at women. This, together with Rudolf's clever marketing techniques and the still cheap cost of the paper, only furthered the paper's popularity. This strong advancement went on until World War I. The bad economic times due to the war did not do Skånska Dagbladet good, and while they were struggling with the economy, the Swedish Jordbrukarnas Riksförbund made an offer to buy the paper. Rudolf Asp took the offer, and in 1999 the paper changed ownership. As part of the farmers' movement, the new owners brought a new image to the paper, and Skånska Dagbladet became less popular in the city of Malmö, but gained subscribers on the countryside. During World War II, Skånskan lost its role as the biggest newspaper in Malmö, and instead Sydsvenskan took its place with a 54,000 copy edition versus Skånskan's 50,000 copy edition. In the 1950s, the Swedish newspaper industry suffered from a huge crisis, mainly due to the rising costs and the heavy competition. This crisis lessened the Skånskan's popularity as well. But in 1974, it started to cooperate with another local newspaper called Arbetet, and until 1992, the two papers had the same Sunday enclosure and advertisement. This helped maintain the Skånskans popularity. In 1990, Skånska Dagbladet changed their cooperation partner to SDS, another local newspaper, avoiding what became Arbetet's fate, bankruptcy. Today, Skånska Dagbladet is owned by the local Centre Party movement. The main editorial office, advertisement division and technical division including printing room is still at Östergatan 15, although today it's called Östergatan 11. The paper also has 10 local editorial offices throughout Skåne, including in Ystad, Trelleborg and Lund. 200 people work with the paper in total. In 2014, Skånskan had a 25,000 copy edition. Firstly, Skånska Dagbladet, as other papers, helped Malmö develop as a city because it informed and educated the people. But Skånska Dagbladet was more significant in the way that it was a paper for everyone. It was cheap, so everyone could afford to read it, and this contributed to that the common people of Malmö, as well as the farmers on the Skåne countryside, was able to read the news. It therefore helped educate and inform all of Malmö's citizens, and together with the fact that it focused on mainly local news, it opened up for discussion and debate on how the development of Malmö should progress without excluding anybody. This, I believe, is a great influence on Malmö society whose effects are still felt today.